Hello and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Michaela. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about tips and tricks and just a little bit of help to help you declutter your life. It's a really big thing going on at the moment. It's a big trend. Everybody's jumping on it and I see it a lot on YouTube and TikTok, but I also see a lot of comments of people saying, I love this idea, I really want to do this, but I don't know where to start. So as someone who is consistently getting rid of shit, I thought I would make just a quick video kind of talking about how I do it and my tips for those of you who maybe do want to do it and you're just a little bit overwhelmed on where to get started. So my very first thing, if you are looking to declutter, you need to make sure you have a good sense of why you are doing it. And I know that might sound a little bit silly, but like there's a big difference between, oh, I want to declutter because I saw someone else do it online and it looks really fun, so like maybe I'll do that. And I actually really want to make a change to my life. Maybe I do have a lot of stuff that's overwhelming me. Maybe I have bad habits that I'm wasting money. Maybe I want to make a good change in my life. So if you're doing this for fun, 100% do it. Go hard, throw out whatever you want. If you're wanting to make like a real life change and a big dent in potentially some issues that you're having, it is kind of better to make sure that you just have a good reason in your mind and a good kind of game plan going into it, because I think that's how you're going to get the best results. Personally, I like to declutter because I don't like a whole lot of visual clutter in my house, and so I'm very partial to just opening drawers and shoving shit inside, and then like 6 months down the track I'll open the drawer and be like, I don't even know what's in here. I don't even know where to start. I know what I'm looking for, but I don't know where to find it, and that frustrates me just as much as anything else. I love to be tidy and organized, and the easiest way for me to do that personally is to just not own an excessive amount of stuff. And I have always had people say to me like, oh Michaela, you're always posting things up for sale, you're always listing on Facebook Marketplace or giving things away, why? And it's because, yeah, I do like to buy things, and maybe I do have like not the best spending habits, so sometimes I do go out and buy things that I like. But I also like to not have an excess of stuff in my house. I don't like to hold on to things that I'm no longer using, I'm no longer needing, things that are broken, all that kind of stuff. I just like to have a functional home. So that's my reason that I continually declutter. And if you're someone who has never decluttered before and you want to start, maybe try starting small, because like I said, it can be really overwhelming, especially if you like, say you want to start in your bathroom or your bedroom or something, and you go in and you just tear the whole thing apart, and then suddenly you look around and it's 10 times worse than when you started. That's overwhelming. That's a lot. That is, while very fun and my personal favorite way to clean a room, it can be just way too much for someone who wants to start a full like decluttering journey and change their whole life. Your first step can't be your biggest step, not all the time. So like I said, start small. How small? That's up to you. But for me, like once every 5-6 months or so, I love to do a little digital detox. So the very first place I start is with my phone. I go through and I delete like any excess photos and videos, contacts I no longer need. I rejig my playlists and get rid of songs that I don't like anymore. Just like old notes, anything and everything, because we are, you know, we're the generation of technology. We're always looking at our phones and our laptops and our iPads, whatever you have, they can be just as cluttered as anything else. So if you've got any of those things, old messages, old contacts that you no longer need, notes that you don't need, photos that maybe you've offloaded already to a laptop or a hard drive or something like that, anything. Even just games that you don't play, it's the easiest place to start, and it does just feel nicer because you don't realize how much we are really holding on our digital devices that you don't need to be staring at or seeing every day. I know, at least as a Samsung user, I don't know about iPhone because I haven't owned one of them in a very long time, but when you get the phone, it's got a whole bunch of apps downloaded on it already that I know I for one don't even use, so I go through and I delete all of those motherfuckers. I don't need shit just cluttering my phone for the sake of being there. I want my phone to be as functional as I am in life because I use my phone. It is a tool, essentially. I know we use it for all of these fun things like doom scrolling and TikTok and YouTube, but I also use it to, you know, keep in contact with friends and family. I use it for work to keep in contact with my boss and see my rosters, and it needs to be organized. So that is probably your easiest place to start. And then after you do that, maybe you could move on to something a little bit bigger. If you're going in little steps, it could just be going from your phone to your laptop because that's bigger. Or if you want to move off of the digital platforms, you could go to a drawer, like these little drawers that I've got up the top. Just one of them at a time, you know, you don't have to do a whole room or a whole space in one day. So if you are a person that has a lot of clutter and you're finding it daunting, do a drawer today and a drawer tomorrow. There you go, you've made your start. And a start is better than nothing. What I like to do is when I've run out of little drawers like these, but I'm not ready to move on to something bigger, I might do like my side table, or I've got like a little caddy that sits down the side of the bed, or I've got a little like set of drawers in the bathroom, move on to a little bathroom cabinet or something like that. There is no time limit on these things. So just because you might be watching people on TikTok upload an episode a day of them doing, you know, today's my bathroom, tomorrow's my bedroom, you don't have to go at that kind of pace. So start small, start easy, and go as slow as you want to go. That's it. That's easy. That's your starting ground. Done. One place for me that gets really messy all the time is my frickin' car, and I hate cleaning it, but I know that I should. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in the house, maybe go and start in like your car or your shed or something. Please comment down below and tell me to go and clean my car, because I guarantee by the time that this video has gone up, I still won't have done it. And now when you actually start decluttering, this sort of doesn't really apply to digital, because digital is sort of like you either keep it or you don't, you know? Or I suppose there is a little bit of a middle ground if you want to put it on a hard drive or a USB or something to save it for later. But when you're doing physical objects, for me, I like to go in 3 categories. Sometimes 4, but let's try not make it too complicated. I either keep, donate, or get out, throw out. Keep, donate, or throw away, essentially. And for me, I am very, very harsh. Now, if you're starting out and you are a little bit unsure, you don't have to be this harsh. However, I find for me, that's what makes progress. Because if I, especially with clothes, you guys know I declutter my clothes all the time, and I'm so like, about it, and I just, if it's not an immediate yes for me, that's a no. And I do that with my items as well. If I pick up an item, if it's like an ornament or an old cord or something like that, if it's not, do I immediately need this? Do I immediately use this? It's a no, then it can go. So maybe try that. Or if you are starting a little bit more soft and not just going full balls to the wall, you could do like a maybe, a donate, a sell, and then your yes pile. So anything that you are a little bit iffy on, pop in a maybe pile, and then put actual brain power into trying to use those objects. So with me, I have a lot of tops that I don't wear. You guys will probably notice in my videos, probably over the last 2 months and going forward, I'm wearing a lot of different tops because I'm making the conscious effort to make sure that I'm wearing what I have instead of just cycling through the same 5 tops that I know are comfy, casual, and easy to throw on. So if you are going to have a maybe pile, that is totally fine, but keep it somewhere that it's visible and where it's like applicable. So if it's clothes, pull them to the front of your closet. If it's, you know, like a mug that you really, really love that you never use, put that at the front of your cabinet so that you are picking that up to make your coffee every morning. If it's a cord, put it out next to the thing that it charges, you know? It sounds so simple, but because we have so much crap in our houses and so much in our lives, it's easy to just be like, oh, a cord, I'll throw it in with the 72 other cords I've got back there and eventually I'll figure it out. And that's how you end up with 17 of the same cord when really you might only need 2. And maybe like 4 of them don't even work because you've broken it and then just hucked it back in the pile instead of throwing it away. Probably my next piece of advice when it comes to decluttering is to organize as you go. So you can make a mess and make a big mess and leave it for the end, but I would say don't do that for more than like a room at a time. So like if you're doing a drawer, that's cool. You could leave that there. I personally prefer to organize as I go. So whatever I am keeping would go back into a drawer or back into its cabinet, organized so that I can see it, so that I'm going to actively try and use it, so that it's accessible, like I said before. So if you're keeping, you know, 10 tops, but you just ball them up and chuck them in a drawer, that's going to be so easy to forget about them or lose them, or you see the one color of the one top that you know you like, so of course you're going to pick that one. So make sure that whatever you are keeping has a place, that it stays in that place or is easily returned to that place, and that it has a use for you. You know, some things can just be, I'm keeping this ornament or this thing because I love it. I don't know if you guys can see my background, but there's a golden snitch up there. It's actually a perfume bottle that is very nearly empty, and I want to keep it because I just think it looks really cool and really neat, and it would be like a cute little piece of decor. So I'm currently fighting with my brain to convince myself that, hey, not everything you keep needs to have a purpose. You are allowed to just keep things because you like them. For me, because I do have a little bit of a tendency to hoard this kind of thing, I just need to put it probably like up against something very similar and say, you know, would I prefer to keep one over the other? Does one bring me more joy than the other one does? Or can I keep both because maybe two's okay? Two doesn't seem excessive. Something like that. So if you've got stuff that doesn't have a purpose, make sure it has a place. Just stay organized, keep it clean, and then you're not going to turn around 6 months later and open a random drawer in your house and be like, oh, there's 17 more of that object that I organized 3 months ago. Another tip for maybe starting small or starting slow is I have seen these TikTok challenges that people do where they're doing like 300 objects in a month, just for example, that's not the actual number, but say they do like 300 objects or something, and they would start with 1 object on the first day, 2 on the next day, 3rd on the 3rd day. I think those things are really cool because it does kind of get you into the groove without having a whole bunch of pressure right off the start. So you can just be like, what's one thing I want to get rid of today? And if you don't want to do that challenge, or if you don't have the time to be going around and finding, you know, by the end of the month 30 items in a day, maybe your decluttering journey is just going to start with, if I could get rid of one thing every single day, it's still going to make a difference, because by the end of the month that's 30 objects gone. And I know it doesn't feel like a lot, but if you were to go around for one day, the last day of that month, and pick up all those 30 items, you would be like, hell yeah, what a dent, you know? So just be aware that you can do other things rather than just be like, I have to get it done and I have to get it done right now. Another way that I really like to do it is I like to do mine in batches of 10. So I go around, English. I go around and I pick 10 items and that's it. And some days it's so easy because I know in my head what I want to get rid of, and I'll be like, oh, that's been bugging me for a while. You know what? Today's the day we're going to go and grab those objects, and we're going to make sure there's 10, and that's it, done. And I might not do any more decluttering for a month. That's okay. But then some days there might be just 2 or 3 objects that are really bugging me, and I'm like, you know what? I've got to get rid of them. I can't look at those anymore, but let's find a few more while I'm at it. That's how my brain works. I like round numbers, and I like to kind of feel like I'm making progress, and to me that feels better if I have like a little pile of things rather than just like 1 or 2 objects. So you could do 1 object a day, you could do 1 object correlating to each day of the month, you could do piles of 10 at a time. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you, but just making a start is what matters, remember that. Another thing that I do is, obviously if you've watched any of my videos, I have been doing no buy for like the first half of this year. I'm losing my voice. And it did go really well. It's something that I do enjoy doing because it is a little bit of a challenge, but it's also the perfect time to declutter your house because you've set yourself a rule that you're not bringing anything new in. And I think that's important because, like I said earlier, I do have a little bit of, you know, a couple little spending habits. There are certain things that I like to spend my money on, and that's okay. I'm an adult. I work very hard for my money. I don't want to hear about it. But it's very hard to make progress in decluttering your space if you are consistently adding new things in those spaces that you've cleared. So by doing like a no buy, which is what I like to do, I use that time to simultaneously do a declutter, because I'm like, I know for me it was January through June. Bleh. What is wrong with me today? I know that I'm bringing nothing or minimal objects into the house in those 6 months. So I used that time to really be like, right, what can I get out of here? What needs to go? And this video is filmed in that time frame. I don't know when it's going to go up. So today's is like a really good little, I was going to say haul, but like anti-haul, because I'm getting rid of it. And I feel really good about it because I know that there's nothing new coming into my space. Not for a little while anyway. Also, just like with any challenge or anything you're doing, it helps if you have someone you can do it with. So, you know, maybe encourage your friends to do it with you, and then you've got someone to keep you on track but also kind of keep you amped up about it. Or if you want to post it on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, lots and lots of other people do that. It's a huge market for it right now, and plenty of people will see your videos and be commenting, egging you on, asking for another part, that kind of thing. But also, I just do it with the people I live with, and it's important that you never ever pressure someone to do it because, like, after all, these are their objects. But what I do specifically is if there's something that I know my husband hasn't touched in months and months and months and months, I will pop it out on a surface, see if he touches it, see if he has any interest. After about a week or so, that's when I would usually say, hey, like, I'm doing a bit of a declutter, do you really need this item, or are you okay with me throwing it away? And he'll let me know. Also, another way that I do it is because I do declutter my clothes quite often. I'll have my bag of clothes. When I'm finished, I just say, hey, I'm going to take these clothes to be donated. Do you have anything that you want to add to it? And 99% of the time, my husband's like, oh yeah, actually, I do. Like the big bag that I've got in my car at the moment that I really need to go to donate has like 6 or 7 of his shirts in it. So it's just that kind of thing where it's really nice to do something when you're not alone. You've got someone kind of backing you up and doing it together, because most things when you do them together are more enjoyable. But just make sure that you're not like pressuring or willing anybody to do your bidding on your behalf. Make sure it's voluntary, I guess is what I'm saying, because voluntary and consent is how we do things. It's fun. Consent is fun, kids. Fuck's sake. To end this video, I do have a lovely pile of things beside me that you've probably seen a hint of while I've been filming. So I thought that while sitting here and giving you my tips is one thing, I might as well stay true to my word and prove to you guys that I do these things that I'm talking about. So here is my little anti-haul of things I'm going to get rid of today. I'm going to start really small to show you guys what I mean. You can make the tiniest dent and it still be a dent. So my first object is literally an old lanyard. I used to hang my work like ID off this, but I got a new one, so I don't need this one anymore. And then followed that up with that thing. You put hand sanitizer in it and you're supposed to hang it from your belt, but I hate it, so I kept the hand sanitizer and this part can go in the trash. That's already 2 items, by the way. When I started this, my goal was to find 10, but I kind of just got on a roll, so I think there's probably more than 10 items in here now, but that is awesome. We like that. Next item. Oh, this was a free gift that I got, and I probably shouldn't have even like accepted it when I made the order online. It was for some new travel bags and they sent this. It's a tiny little backpack, which yes is very cute, but I kind of hoped it would be a little bit smaller. You're supposed to put like AirPods and stuff in it, but it's a bit big for what I want, and I know that sounds funny, but it's bigger than what I want. Asked my husband, asked a couple friends, nobody wants it. So unfortunately, maybe I'll like chuck it in the donate bag or something and someone might find it cute. A swim cap. I got this as part of the Starlight Super Swim, the fundraiser that I did in February, but I don't wear swim caps. I thought that I would wear it, and I tried to one time and they just make me feel like an absolute goose. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Next. This is, I don't know whether to count this as 3 or 1, that's up to you, but these are compression socks. So I've got 2 black and grey striped pairs and a plain white pair. These 3 can go because if you didn't know, compression socks have a shelf life of like 6 months. So these I've been wearing for a year now and they are well and truly dead. I've kept a couple of pairs and I did get a few more new pairs for a really good bargain price. So don't need to be keeping the old ones when I have new, more comfortable, more efficient ones. This is a cat bowl. I had 2. They were like a, just until we get the cat's bowls over from New Zealand, which we did. They lasted like a day, but we've been swapping them in and out. There was 2. I smashed one, so I just went and brought them new bowls. I don't need this anymore. Bye. This is really old. It's an old makeup bag that I used to use for traveling, but we have new, what are they called, like toiletry bags, I suppose. Again, I got them on special. They're way better designed for traveling because they're not just a random case. So this one can go, as well as these two. These are our old like traveling cases, and they're those ones that you hang up and they like flip out, but I just don't really like them. The zips in these ones are all broken. Everything falls out of them every time they get like turned a certain ways. So those 3 bags can go. We have replaced them with one more efficient bag, which I love. It's all just going to be in one place, and hopefully nothing's going to fall out of these ones. These are slippers, very clearly. I hate them. I got them from Kmart. I thought I would be okay with the like lifted heels, but I just end up tripping, and somehow they're too big and too small, so my feet just slide around in them. They're more of a hazard than anything else. And I live in Australia, and while it's nice to have like a house shoe so that your feet don't get sore on the tiles, I actually really don't need like a big fluffy slipper, so these are going to go in my donate bag. I've barely worn them, but someone should get some use out of those because they're almost brand new, other than maybe a little bit of cat hair that's now flying around the room. Speaking of my cats, the next thing I'm getting rid of are these 3. They did all look like this with the pom-pom on the end, but my cats clearly ripped one off. They were on a cat tree, but again, my cats ripped them off, and they've just been kind of lying around the house. My cats don't need them. They have plenty of toys, and they now have a rogue pom-pom, so these 3 are just literal rubbish that I've been too lazy to throw away. Again, this is another cat toy. I got this one from Kmart actually, and I'm a bit pissed about it because it's like a spiral that's supposed to like stand up by itself. Never ever stood up by itself, ever. It just falls over, and then my cats don't want to play with it because it's just like a on the ground. And also, it broke like literally the second that I got it like out of the package, and I tried to fix it by super gluing all this stuff, but there's actually a bit of exposed wire in here, and I don't want my cats anywhere near that, so I almost immediately took it off them, and it's just been sitting around ever since. My cats hate it, I hate it, and it's a hazard, so bye. I haven't got that much left, to be fair. We've kind of zoomed through this. This used to have a sports towel in it. Don't ask me where that is, but clearly I use the towel and not the little hanger thingy, so bye. This is a running vest with its little like drink bottle and everything. I was going to try and sell this originally, but honestly it wasn't that expensive, and I don't think I have the amount of fucks required to sell things on Facebook Marketplace right now, so I'm just going to put it in my donate bag with the rest of the clothes because I'm sure someone will need it, and whatever the store lists it for will be probably a better price than what I brought it for, which it wasn't super expensive, but I only used it twice, so it was too expensive to not use it at all. I went through a phase where I thought I was going to be a runner, okay, which is hilarious because I barely fucking walk. And this is the last thing. Some of you, if you know me, I'm sure will be shocked. But it's books. Now, I love my books, but I'm trying to keep my physical collection of books very, very small right now, partially because obviously we will be moving at least once in the nearish future, so I don't want to have to pack and travel a million books, but also I have a Kindle now, and I love it. I love being able to take it everywhere without worrying about books being damaged, so I'm trying to minimize the amount of physical books I have to just my absolute favorite books right now. And while these are some of my favorite books of all time, these 2 are already secondhand. This one I brought brand new, and I'm going to give all of them to someone from work because we've talked about them quite a few times and she really wants to read them, so I figure why not just give them a really good home, and when she's done with them she can pass them on to someone else. It's better than them just sitting on my bookshelf because I've read them, I love them, I'd read them again in the future, but I might just get them on Kindle and someone else can love these. I don't really know how many items that was technically, but it feels like more than 10, and I feel really good for getting rid of them. So if you guys want any sort of, you know, motivation, inspiration, use that. Maybe if you can comment down below one thing that you are choosing to declutter after watching this video, let me know because I will cheer for you. I will, oh, there's a car outside my house. Hello, who are you? Don't know. Anyway, I was saying that I will cheer you on and encourage you down in the comments, so let me know one thing you are decluttering. And if you want to see more of my content or more videos like this, I do have a little bit of a schedule of my content coming together, so be prepared to see that in the few months. You'll start to recognize a few themes going on rotation. I'm going to be uploading certain videos on a monthly basis, so subscribe if you want to see that. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, all those good things, and I will see you next Sunday at 7 AM Brisbane time, because that is when I upload. Bye!